we added these oxidizing solids bioreactors. They started off as our oxidizing solids traps, OSTs, if you remember on the interactive cost estimator, and we've upgraded them for commercial systems. Essentially what happens is that the water comes from the sump up into a stilling well inside here, and then there are layers of filter matting with anaerobic conditions below, so water is forced downwards into the cone where we're able to remove solids periodically. But there is a retention time, a very important retention time in the cone itself, which allows phosphate, specifically phosphate accumulating organisms, PAOs, to establish in the system. And we then aerate heavily from about halfway up. There is heavy aeration, and I don't know if you can see, but there is an air pump, a dedicated air pump that is allocated to each OSB, and it pumps air heavily into the top section. So it's almost anaerobic at the lower sections, more anoxic, so oxygen short, but then it goes very heavily aerated, and then it flows out at the top and goes to the media beds. So what this does for us is it enables us to regulate and limit or manage the amount of solids that are on the way to our media beds. Not so important for us in winter, and we're allowing the solids to accumulate here during the winter period. There's a retention time of between 14 and 28 days, which is very important to phosphate liberation. The water going to our media beds, ideally we want to limit the amount of solids during the summer months in this tilapia system, because that's when the fish are producing a lot of solids, and so we can manage this. This becomes like a steering wheel, handbrake, clutch, accelerator on the system for us, and we can increase nitrification by reducing the amount of solids that are going to the media beds by using the oxidizing solids bioreactor. So this is not a radial clarifier, radial flow clarifier, or a swirl filter, or it is designed to manage and regulate the amount of solids that are transferred. It does not necessarily stop the solids. We don't want to stop the solids because obviously, as we know, our heterotrophic bacteria and biology is reliant on that. But yeah, this has made a massive difference to the way we're able to manage our system, specifically with regards to pushing up our nitrogen levels in the system. So here we have a couple of these OSBs, oxidizing solids bioreactors, that we've built and are going to be shipping through to the guys at Boland.